it was me all the while, holding me down. I wasn't ready to receive all the things
and I don't have any experience in this, but my girl Kalley over here, she knows all about parenting and motherhood. I know about sisterhood and that being that step parent, but this is the real deal right here, and she has a story to tell.
You know what? Parenting is parenting. If there's a child, it's parenting. But an issue that parents have and are afraid to talk about that I want to address is feeling like you're literally gonna lose your mind. Life is life. Life throws a lot of things at us. I am a single parent. My son is currently 10 years old. I absolutely love my son. Anyone who knows him knows that he's an awesome blessing. He's a really good kid. When I went through my separation or non-engagement, however you want to call it, there were a lot of other things going on in my life. I had Crystal and Cameron living with me, and prior to that I had my youngest brother living with me, so I was taking care of a lot of people, and I got overwhelmed. I found myself crying at night, not knowing why. I was stressed. Anytime my son would ask me something, I would snap and be like, just leave me alone. I'm so irritated. And I talked to my best friend about it, and I was like, I feel like I'm losing my mind, and I'm tired of being a parent. I love my son, but the responsibility is really heavy on me right now, and I feel like I'm about to break. I know that I am not the only parent in the world that has felt that. However, I was not afraid to say that, and I'll never forget. You won't. Well, you probably could, girl. So I never forget. It was Saturday. I was sitting on my floor in the living room and I was crying. I told her, Jay, I said, please go outside, go play, don't come back in 3 hours. And he gave me my time, and my phone rang, and it was, I'm not going to say her name, but it was an acquaintance that I had for several years. And we used to work together, and she would always say to other people, I admire her because she's strong, she's so polite, you know, she's always well put together. If there's a confrontational issue, you'd be surprised by her response because she doesn't give that, you know, response that everybody thinks. You know, I admire her, she's awesome. And she called at that time. She's like, hey, what are you doing? And I was crying, and she said, oh my God, are you okay? Wow. And I said, no, I'm tired. And I was just crying, that ugly cry. I was like crying. I was like,
we've all had that ugly cry. Y'all know that ugly cry. Y'all know that ugly cry.
I was glad she wasn't in my face. It was so ugly. And I was like, I'm tired of being a parent. And she was silent. And I just kept on going because I just needed to release it at that moment. And I could tell she couldn't handle it. I've never talked to her since. Wow. She's never called me back. Wow. And that's sad and unfortunate because, you know, one, she saw me in that state. She admired me for this thing, but when I was vulnerable and
so you can handle you at your high, but they can't handle you at your low.
I have not talked to her since, and that was kind of heartbreaking for me.
One thing I've learned from my pastor, actually in the last couple of weeks, is you have to be careful who you have in your inner court, your outer court, and in your holy place. So some people, they can only get to a certain level of who you are. And there's some people that you can let in and that you just shouldn't. So you have to be able to discern who that person is and what their purpose is in your life, or what your purpose is in their life, because maybe it's not for them to be of help for you, but more for you to just be that guidance for them. And in this case, like, that's something that has happened. Like, for me, when I even went through my situation a year ago, there were some people that I just strayed away from. They couldn't handle what I was going through. They weren't equipped to handle what I was going through. And the relationships that were born and gone away. I mean, it's very unfortunate, but at the same time, it's real life, and it happens to the best of us.
I was shocked, but needless to say, I did get my break. My family stepped in, and they took him for a whole school year, and I was so depressed. Oh my God, when he left. All I did was go to work. I think I barely walked Majesty.
Really?
Girl, yes, I did. Majesty was just scratching at my head like, can you take me out? and that's when I finally decided. I said, okay, I have to do something. I have to get myself back to the place where when he comes back, there's not a burden. So what I did is I got me a second job. That's when I started working at BCBG, and I got rejuvenated. I spent time with myself. I had time for myself. I went out. I did whatever I wanted to. And my grocery bill. Oh, girl, my grocery bill was only $100 a month, and I was talking about saving money. But now that put me in a place where I could start paying off certain things. So when he did get back, there wasn't a big financial burden, and so to speak, because I was doing it all on my own. But that was an experience that I know for a fact mothers go through, fathers go through, parents, period. How many times in the news we see these unfortunate cases where something goes wacko and children are dead? I mean, this is a real show. This is real. You know, so
it happens.
I feel like if people had an outlet to talk about those things without judgment, because I felt like the acquaintances I had, that was a form of judgment. Cutting me off and never talking to me again was a form of judgment to me.
And like, that's when you're so weak, though. You don't
I
have the energy to care. I changed you.
I didn't.
Like, although I did value our friendship, I just don't even have it in me to even go after that. Like, I'm in the low place right now, and I just can't.
And some people, and then I thought about it, you know, it probably was hard for her to relate because she had support with her child, you know, and I didn't. And so, you know, sometimes people just need that. It's life. We all go through issues. You can love your children to death, but that does not mean that you don't have the capability to be tired and worn out and be stressed out and almost to Shoal Creek. If anybody's from Austin, that is like the crazy house.
I mean, not even just with parenthood, but, you know, work and everything. Sometimes something that you love, like I have a career that I love, but sometimes I do get worn out. Sometimes I get tired, and I just need that break. Thank God for PTO. Thank God for vacation. Because sometimes you really just need to step away so that you can regroup. And that's what we're here for. Like, we're showing you how to regroup with just life struggles.
Exactly. So time to yourself is very important for not just you, but the people that you love.
And I really hope you all enjoyed yourselves and, you know, got some tools that you can even use even now in life. What we're bringing to you is real, and I know that in some aspects, something we've talked about today that you can relate to. Me and Kalley here, we are really here for you. If you have any topics that you need to discuss, send an email to spiritspeaks@gmail.com. We'll definitely read it. And if you have a topic you want us to discuss, we'll talk about it on the show. So just know that you are not in this alone. And remember that there is life after this.